On Saturday evening, Lehigh Junior center forward Tim Kempton was officially welcomed into the 1,000-point scorers club before the Mountain Hawks tipped off against Mount St. Mary's. On December 5th against Rochester, Kempton became the 33rd player in program history to reach the coveted career milestone when he scored on a layup early in the second half of the game. Kempton was joined on the court by several other Lehigh 1,000-point scorers who were extremely excited to usher in the newest member of their family.
Number one, it's always great to come back to Lehigh. Number one, I'm just a proud alum of the school, but also to add a new person to the 1,000-point club. It's always exciting. I'm glad to be able to partake in, presenting with the game ball that he scored his 1,000-point with. I know for me, which I'm scared to say was almost 20 years ago, it's a very exciting moment when you do have that as a young man.
I'm so glad to hear that he did it a year earlier in his junior year. It shows that he's really contributing on the court. He's a force to be reckoned with, and it's really awesome to have another person join the club. It's outstanding.
When I made 1,000 points, we only played 20 games a year. These guys are playing 30, so it's a little easier for them. They also had a three-point shot, which we didn't have. So it was a lot tougher for me to make 1,000 points than for Tim Kempton, but I give him a lot of credit. He's a great player, and I'm proud for him to be a Lehigh player and carrying on the tradition.
Scoring 1,000 points is such a magical moment for any player that the 1,000-point scorers here at Lehigh University, even after decades have passed, still remember the exact moment it happened.
It was against Temple in Grace Hall, and we won the game. It was my senior year. I had 19 points that night, and I had 1,000, and that was the 1,002 points that I made against a very good Temple team, well coached by Harry Litwack, and a number of very fine Temple players, including Hal Lear, an outstanding guard from Philadelphia.
Playing Colgate at Colgate, and we actually, I remember it like yesterday. I needed exactly 24 points before the game to score my 1,000. I think I was early in my junior year, and I remember a little crossover in the three, and it was exactly my 1,000 points. And I left the game with 1,000 points exactly. And the very next game, I was presented the ball against Lafayette, so that was special.
My teammate Bob Krasansky scored his 1,000th point, I think, one game before I did. So my 1,000 point came right after, and it was during my junior season, just like Tim. So it's a feel-good moment, a really feel-good moment. And congratulations for him.
Unfortunately for Kempton, he was unable to play in front of his new band of brothers due to injury, but was excited nonetheless to officially be welcomed into the club.
I mean, it was pretty sweet. I would obviously like to play in a game where I get recognized, but just to have the people here and have the camaraderie around it, and to meet those type of players that have been able to put up fabulous numbers and numbers that even exceed mine, and only wish to reach that goal. But it was awesome, and to be recognized and be in the Lehigh's 1,000-point club is pretty neat, especially with those guys that I met tonight.
Despite not getting to see Kempton play in front of him that night, Lehigh's first ever 1,000-point scorer, Ed Kahn, knows that there are definitely some big things ahead for Tim in the future.
You can take basketball and translate it into life. It's a life experience. I think that you can tell a lot about somebody's character the way they play sports, and I think Tim has a lot of character. He plays very hard, and he plays very intelligently, and I'm hoping he has a great junior and senior year here at Lehigh. He's halfway through his junior year. I think he's going to do great in the Patriot League championships. I wish him the best.
At Stabler Arena in Bethlehem, Breland Moore,